Good evening, everybody. How's it going? Hope your Saturday is going well, or Sunday if you live in the future. Yeah. I made the mistake of having some caffeine last night in the evening. I didn't sleep very well, so we'll see. We will see how things go today. We will see how things go. Yes. I'm feeling a little loopy. Nivek, good to see you. Nivek says, I don't live in the future. I live in the state of confusion. I mean, I understand. I understand that. I understand that. All right. So I guess I did a little bit of warming up. I just did one of my Feuillard exercises. Oh, we got to do the thing. We got to do that. Yeah, so let's just get into it. All right, chat. I need you to make decisions for me, please. Let's see here. What have I done? Oh, actually. All right, so we've got. No, actually, I think I want to do 18. I'll let you pick something. I'll let you pick a scale or something. But we're gonna do this. We're gonna do number 18, and we're gonna do this at 88, I guess. I think I need to make this a little louder. Cathedora, this metronome goes out to you. Okay, so this is the trill exercise. Or sorry, not the trill. This is the finger twister exercise. I did my trill exercises already. These are the finger twisters. And it's in 3. Rada says I'm so confused as well. You know, it happens. Wasn't timing that. We're going to start that. Started the metronome, but not my timer, which is fine. Which is fine because I'm sure I'll be goofing around a little bit. So that was 18. So that one. So again, I'm supposed to be sort of accenting, using my left hand, accenting on the beat. So there's a set of triplets starts on every beat. So in this case, it's a mix of hits. The 4th finger is a hit. And the first, and then there's a lift. So there's a lift for that, for the first finger. So the next one, 19, is. So I like to do 18, 19, 20, and 21 all together because they're kind of doing the same thing and then they hit all the fingers. Whereas some of the other exercises are like a little like more self-contained. But these 4 feel like they go together. Wait. That's why. That's 20, not 19. That's why I was confused. This one really works the pinky. Wait a minute. Yeah, okay, sorry. I was thinking, I was like, wait, didn't I just do that one? No, it's different. That's enough of that one. So that's 19. So 20 is with, so 19 was with a second finger, 20 is with a third finger. Okay, so then 21. Well, actually, I think those three go together. And then 21. Yeah, the 21's different. So let's just do those three. That's good enough. That's 4 minutes of that. So let me write that down. Okay, we got that. All right, now, chat, this is your opportunity to choose our next adventure. Pick a number from 1 through 12, and please do not make me do math. I didn't realize that I would need to say this, but pick a number 1 through 12. Please do not make me do math. Roman numerals are acceptable, but please do not make me do calculus or something. I can do calculus. I haven't done calculus in a really long time, but I don't wanna. What's up, Bluvian? Nice to see you. Oh, we got Cathedora gave me an 8 in both regular numbers and Roman numerals. Very good. Gold star for Cathedora there for knowing their Roman numerals. Okay, I don't need this anymore, so let's get rid of that. So 8 is 1, 2, 3, 6, D flat. I don't always, so I would, I got a C in multivariable calculus, which was the first C I had gotten ever in my entire life. And I thought it was just a really hard class. And to be fair, it was. My professor was, it was his last year of teaching, and he was very good, and he was very funny, very dry sense of humor. But we had quizzes every week, 20-point quizzes. And you could throw out one score for the whole semester. And I managed to actually do all my homework and like do my best to prepare for the quiz. And the one that I threw out, I got a 0 on. He didn't even give me a point for like writing my name on the paper or anything like that. And I legitimately did try. Like I legitimately like tried to do all of the things that I was supposed to be doing, and I just didn't get it. And there was another quiz and then I think my other 2 low scores, I got a 4 on one of them, and I got a 6 on another one. And again, I was doing my best, and my best was just not, it just wasn't sticking. So then I was like, oh, that was just a really hard class. Just take linear algebra. It'll be much better because it'll just be it's just different, right? And have a great time at the comedy show. Thanks for popping in and saying hi, Luvian. We'll see you around. Yeah. So anyway, I took linear algebra, and I also got a C. That was also a hard class, and I have not needed to use linear algebra or multivariable calculus since. But that was when I realized that I should stop. I had kind of maxed out on the math, and that I should just stop. So Cathedora says, I couldn't grasp pre-calc my junior year of high school. I decided not to take a math my senior year since I didn't need the math credit. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Statistics is useful, but like, I don't know. It's fine. Like if you're going to go into science, or you don't know, or you're thinking like maybe you might want to go into science, or maybe like I didn't really like math. I was pretty decent at math, and then like calculus was like calc 1 was not too bad. Calc 2 was harder, and so I think I peaked at calc 1. But I haven't used calculus since. Like since I stopped taking calculus, I haven't used calculus. Anyway, we're going to do this D flat major scale. And I'm going to pull up a drone. I went to Guitar Center today. I don't like to go to Guitar Center if I can shop locally. But I needed a thing that I needed to get at Guitar Center. See, Nivex says it's a long story, but the TLDR is I took Calc 1 3 times. What's WP? WP, F, and pass. I don't remember my grade. Oh, yeah. Withdraw, pass. Gotcha. Yeah. It's brutal. It's just brutal. And I remember something my Algebra 2 teacher told us in class. He said, never trust anyone that says they can think in 4th dimension, because they're lying. So just a word of advice from my high school Algebra 2 teacher. All right. So I'm pitching to this D flat. That's the deal here. Yeah, write that down. Very important. I'm going to set the timer for 4 minutes, and we're going to see how this goes. Is that right? No. Imagine a Time Lord could do it, but beyond that, I don't know. I wouldn't trust the Time Lord. Cathedora says, if the Time Lord looks like David Tennant, I'd trust the Time Lord. Fair. Enjoy your tea, Rada. Okay, so let's do. All right, chat. We're gonna do number. We're gonna do A flat now. Let me switch the drone here. I wish I could tell my phone to like set the timeout for longer when I have this particular app up. Maybe it's a thing that I can do. I don't know. I haven't looked into it super closely. Was wrong. Something was wrong coming back down. Yeah, everybody hydrate. That was better. Wait a minute. That's enough. 2 scales in hard keys, not bad. Okay, so what are we gonna do next? I'm done with Feuillard. All right, we're gonna do. I've been doing some. We'll do vibrato next. So let's do. So we spent a lot of time on vibrato at my lesson this week. I'm gonna do 10 minutes on this. And then we can chat while I'm doing this. So we got this one. It's cleaning the string. And my teacher said this one is good for just kind of getting everything working together. And I don't, you probably can't hear it, but I'm supposed to be able to hear like my finger making noise on the string. And I also need to keep my bicep, this part of the arm, I need to keep that loose because I'm tightening that too much. And this is good for the bounce because it's vibrato is a lot of, actually it's elastic strength, which is like a triple jumper. If you are a track nerd, track and field, or athletics nerd like I am, the triple jump is the hop, skip, and a jump event in the sand. And there are crazy things that your hips do in terms of snapping to propel yourself forward. So it's that going back and then springing forward. It's actually a reaction type event sort of thing. It's the same thing with vibrato, is down and then you get a bounce back up. Or so I've been told. That's how it's supposed to work. It's really hard, like really hard to think about, to like focus on your bicep. I'm going to actually go up a little bit here to just keep that loose. Oh, and let's do this. So yeah, this is a whole thing. And it's interesting because like my teacher gave me like 50 million vibrato exercises to do, but they don't all, like sometimes they don't work. What's up, see you all from here? Nice to see you. Hope you're having a nice Saturday. But like different exercises will work for, different things, different points in your development. Not like just, they do different, they're all variations of a theme and they work on different motions. So different things. So he said, do this one. And then he said to do another one that was kind of a variation of the one that I've been doing on stream the past couple of weeks. Just working on vibrato exercises here. See you all. So, but yeah, to try and keep my bicep relaxed is a really, really challenging, I find. So it's like not something that you usually think about. You don't really think about what your bicep is doing. It's weird. But as like it's really crazy how much of a difference these are. My teacher calls us as musicians athletes of the small muscles. And so it's really interesting how much, just like how quickly a very small adjustment and a few repetitions can actually go towards improving something. Just at the micro level. Okay. So we got that one. So the other one that he had me doing, and I'm going to probably hit the microphone a bunch. So what I was doing the past couple of weeks is I was taking my two fingers on my left hand or on my right hand and then holding my finger in place here. He actually wants me to start above the string go down like I'm gonna play the string, but hold my fingernail, like hold my finger down with my right hand, and then so it's like this, and then vibrate, right? And then when I take my finger off my right hand, when I take that off, it shouldn't feel any different. So I'm holding my finger down, doing this, and then when I take my finger off, there it is. When I take my finger off, it shouldn't feel any different. And that is, it sounds really simple, but it's a lot harder than you might expect. Because when I take my finger off, when I take my other finger off, everything wants to tighten up. Because I'm just like, I'm super relaxed right now because all the weight is coming down from my right hand. And then things are tensing. And part of that is like I should be using gravity with my arm. So that's part of it, is maybe I'm not using gravity enough. And go through all the fingers and all the strings. And he also says to try not to spend too much time on any one finger. But you can watch. I'm gonna go back. I didn't look at last week's recording, but I usually go back and look at the VODs or on and see what's how things are looking, even though I'm kind of watching the camera right now. Like I can see and I can feel that my arm is tensing. There it wasn't, but when I do this, gotta keep these fingers loose. And like I've been working on vibrato it's kind of, everything with a musical instrument is kind of like a lifelong battle. But in particular, I feel like having a decent, not necessarily even a great vibrato, but just like a decent vibrato will make me sound much less like a beginner. See, all asks how much time do you have to spend on these exercises every day? I set a timer for 10 minutes today. And I have 1 minute left. It kind of just depends on how long I have. I've been using a countdown timer more lately because I've been having trouble with time management, and because I have, I usually practice in the evenings. So I work and then I go for a run and then I have to eat and practice before 10 p.m. because no acoustic instruments after 10 p.m. on during the week, which is reasonable. It just causes problems for me as a night owl, trying to cram too many things into my day. So 10 minutes has been kind of what I've been doing, but I could do a lot more. But I practice usually timed, stopwatch time, not clock time, about an hour a day. So I don't count my breaks. I try and stop when I'm not actively playing. I try and the timer's usually not running. It's amazing how much time you spend not playing. All right, I'm going to set 3 more minutes. Then we'll move on. A lot of being a musician involves not actually like playing real music. It's a lot of this very technical type stuff. Especially when you're learning an instrument. But even, you know, people that are, you know, top tier, you know, top of their profession are still doing little tedious stuff like this. What's up, Denny? Welcome in. I'm just doing some vibrato exercises here. And there's all kinds of goofy things. Like these aren't even the weirdest exercises I've been given. Welcome back, Rada. Oh, no worries, you're fine. What kind of tea did you make? I had, so I wasn't going to get boba today, but I bribed myself to go for a little bit longer run and reward myself with the boba. And I had an oolong, a light oolong milk tea with strawberry poppin' boba. I don't usually get the poppin' boba because I think they're usually a little bit sweet for me, but this was I didn't have any sugar in the drink, and it was actually like, it's been a long time since I've had poppin' boba, and it was actually pretty good. I think maybe when I've had it in the past, I've had some sweetener in the drink itself, and that was too much. I don't like a lot of sugar. Rada's having some chamomile tea. Nice. Oh wait, Camlini. Oh, I don't know what that is. Oh, what's up, Iocane? Nice to see you. Everybody go give Iocane a follow, because Iocane is awesome. CEO All asks, did the player always practice these? The players more than 100 years ago, or did they just play? I mean, so vibrato is actually kind of a new, we'll do one here. I'm going to just do this until I finish the C string. I mean, I would assume that they were, so, well, let me start by saying, so my teacher comes from the teachings of Dunas, who was actually, he was teaching in the 1920s, I think is when he started teaching. And so that's 100 years ago now, right? And these are very much Dunas type exercises. And vibrato it was an innovation that came about, I'm not sure at what point in history, but it wasn't originally something that people did. Like, so like with Baroque music, you don't have that beautiful big vibrato. Like you might have in, more modern pieces or different time periods. It was in the later time. It was like, I don't know if it was the Romantic era that it came about. So like, but this is not a movement the point being, this is not a movement that is natural to your body. So, you have to train it to do this, right? What's up, Nico? Welcome in. Let's see. So from the Latin word vibrare, to shake, a slight change in pitch used by performers to influence the sound, has already been mentioned in very old sources going back to as far as 1545. Okay. From Martin Agricola, and probably even further. Okay. That's what Google said? Is it AI generated, or is it actually like because I don't trust my facts if it's the AI generated stuff. I always got to double check that stuff. The AI stuff is not so great on facts. You have to be very careful because it's like a predictable. It's predicting what the most, because like that Agricola reminds me of the Roman Emperor Agricola. What's up, Jove? How did the show go? Okay, so that's enough of that. Those very technical exercises. Now what we're gonna do? Oh, we're gonna do a scale. We're gonna do F Phrygian again. So F Phrygian is got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flats. We're just doing all the fun ones right here. I'm gonna pull up an F. Friday, you're here to learn cello. Excellent. Me too. I'm here to learn cello as well. You're in the right place. See, Joe says, good show. The stream went well. No major glitches, but I didn't get home until almost 4 a.m., so I'm running on fumes now. Yeah, I had some caffeine yesterday evening, and I was up until 5, so yeah. There we are. Set the timer for 5 minutes and we'll see how this goes. Okay, so F Phrygian. So this is the third mode of, this would be D flat. Be the third mode of the D flat major scale. It's from Esther Visser's PhD research paper, so I will trust it. Okay, thank you for checking. I appreciate that. Oh, sorry, I think I have links disabled in chat. Wait a minute. That's the pattern. I gotta get my bearings here. Before I worry about, let me just worry about the notes. So we start on F, G flat, A, B flat, C, D flat, E flat, E flat. Let's just work on that lower octave. So what I'm trying to work on with my vibrato here is I'm working on weight shift. So as I switch fingers, I should have my weight over that finger. And then I'm also trying to learn the patterns. Let's keep going. Rada English is very complicated. If you ever get a chance, there's some, I think George Carlin and Gallagher both have some hilarious bits about the English language. Very hilarious. Before Gallagher got kind of old and mean. He was when he was young and funny and not old and mean. Let's see here. Let me do. Let's do another 5 minutes here. We didn't even do the third octave yet. Oops. I did something different with the fingering. right, that's enough of that. A lot of times what I'll do is, well, that's so usually when I'm playing scales off camera, well, sometimes I do it on camera too, but so at that tempo, I should do. So 2 notes per bow, all the way up and down, and then 3 notes per bow, and then 4 notes per bow. But the quarter note is that the tempo remains the same. So the quarter note remains the same, right? The beat remains the same. It's just the notes in themselves get faster, so it practices shifting and stuff. But I'm not going to do that now. Forgot to do this before I actually started. So now we're going to do my Etude, which is also an Etude that I've done before. I don't way long ago, probably the first year I was playing. We're losing my little book expander thingy holder, whatever. I have a portable monitor sitting on my stand here. So I put the page of the book. I don't need the right page, so the page on the right. So I put my monitor over that so I can just focus on this page. But now the mic is kind of in the way. So the reason why I went to Guitar Center, I bought a headphone splitter. So you can plug 2 sets of headphones into one jack. But I also was looking at microphones because I want to swap. What I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take, you just barely on camera here, but there's, this cello mic here. It's an Audio-Technica 2020, AT 2020 mic, and it's a good solid mic, but this business is bothering, this business here with this microphone is annoying. So I wanted to be able to get, I was going to get a new microphone, because this is a dynamic microphone. It's a Shure SM58, if you're familiar with this type of microphone. They're both very much like workhorse microphones. But this is a vocal mic that you would see, at a lot of concerts, right? The lead singer or the vocalists in a rock show will use these mics or whatever, and they're great, but they filter out a lot of noise, so I have to have it really close. It's a dynamic mic, and then the AT 2020 is a condenser mic, and you can have condenser mics are more sensitive. So if I could have a mic over here or something where it would not be blocking my field of vision on the sheet music, that would be fantastic. So I was looking at I'm looking at an AKG C214, which, if you know, Joe plays violin. That was her old mic, I believe, before she upgraded her microphone. And it's just another workhorse mic that is good for a lot of different use cases, including cello, and other strings, but particularly cello. So I'm looking at that. I'm looking at a couple models. And then I'm going to move this, then I'm going to move the AT 2020 up here, and then I'll have the other, the new mic will be the cello mic. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. But we'll see. I think the manufacturer's price has gone up on that the AKG mic, so I might just like keep an eye out for when it goes on sale. Because it was a little bit, when I saw the sticker price, I'd read some reviews, and then I went back and looked at like the sticker price at like Guitar Center and whatever, and Sweetwater and whatever, and it was more than I remembered it. So I was like, oh, that's a bummer. Okay, so what we're gonna do with this etude. So this is the Meow Mix etude. That one. So, but what I'm going to be doing is this is kind of like just a very basic exercise that's like foundational, is to do, my teacher calls it the uneven exercise. So these are all eighth notes in this etude. So equal, except for there's 3 notes that aren't eighth notes in this entire, 4. Out of 52 measures, there are 4 notes in this etude that are not eighth notes. They're quarter notes. So anyway, so most of it is equal time for every note. And so what you can do is you can vary the duration of the notes. So you can do, instead of playing them all the same, you play them unevenly, where you do long, short, long, short, long, short, or you do short, long, short, long, short, long, or you can do long, short, 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 and then go through each of and then short, long, short, short, etc. So there's 6 different variations that you can do. So I was practicing between long, short, and short, long to practice, again, weight transfer and making sure that I have the right, the weight transfer for my fingers. So that's what I've been doing. So that's what we're going to do. So I think I did, and I might do, let's try starting with the first note long, and then the next one's, let's start with long, short, and then short, long, and then we'll see how it goes. And I think I'm just going to do, maybe the first measure over and over for a bit. Oh, let me start this. And this is where when I was doing this at this etude at my lesson, that's when my teacher was like, "Oh, your bicep is tight. Don't do that." Let me start the metronome. Oh, see you, Rado. Thanks for hanging out. Work tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Oh my goodness. That's ugh. 6 a.m.? That sounds like 6 a.m. to me. Ugh. Have a good day at work. what's up? Iofar. Nice to see you. I keep hitting that first finger high. So let's do that the other way. Let's do it short, long. Ah. This is a lot harder than it seems. I need to reach back. There we go, that's better. Let's try that measure the other way. getting a little bit better. That's the first, you can tell the first half of that measure is extended and the second half is not. We were doing short long. Let's go back. I'm working on an etude. So an etude is a teaching piece. A teaching piece. So I'm working on technique right now. I don't actually take requests because I'm practicing. And I actually can't play Flight of the Bumblebee because I've only been playing cello for 4 years. But I can do some sweet vibrato exercises. That might sound like a bumblebee. Let's see here. Yeah, I think I remember this. I do remember this. The Flight of the Bumblebee is your thing. I believe I remember that. Okay, so let's go. I can do more of this though. But nobody wants that. I'm pretty sure nobody wants that. You love it. Okay, so let's go. Yeah, so what I'm working on is I'm working on weight transfer between my fingers to make sure that I have a smooth vibrato. Let's see here. Where do I want to start? Let's start right here. See, I get stuck. I get stuck in this position and like I need to be loose, and I'm just like trying to figure out exactly the right sort of like body position there. And like, but like my teacher was saying, keep your bicep loose. So that's a thing. The way that this should feel is that it should feel like, you know, like if you ever watch track and field and you see a sprinter like getting ready to get down, they get down in the blocks and then they jump up and they shake out. That's what this should feel like, that shaking out of my left arm. Know what to do, but doing it is a different story. Yep, exactly. Exactly. Like your brain knows what to do, but telling your brain to tell your body what to do sometimes that's the big hurdle. It's getting a little bit better. That's one of the quarter notes, one of the very rare quarter notes in this piece. Welcome in, Donovan. You might be familiar with the Meow Mix commercial. So this is an Etude, a Dotzauer Etude. So I'm just kind of looping different measures. And I'm working on weight transfer on my fingers to try and get my vibrato loosened up and moving. So yes. If you're familiar with that quality commercial from the 80s and 90s, that might be what you're hearing. Okay, so my timer went off. So let's move on to something else. What are we gonna do? Let's just go through. Well, actually, here let's do. Let's see here. Do I want to do... Let's work on... Marcello. Okay. And then this is easy because I've got the fourth movement. I got the fourth movement right looking at me, so let's do that one. Okay, so we're going to do the last movement, and then we'll go back and we'll play through the other movements. So this one, I have been working on, I guess I'll just play it through cold, and we'll see how it's doing. And then we'll probably work more on there's a bunch of stuff in thumb position here, and that's what I've been working on, and that was what I was working on in my lesson. And Joe says, everything I know about classical music I learned from cat food commercials and Looney Tunes cartoons. Yes. Yes. I'm going to kill the wabbits. All right, so we're going to spend 15 minutes on the Allegro and then probably less time on the other movements. Ah. That's a thing that we will work on. Welcome in, Cockatoo Banshees. Are you a fan of the Cockatoo Twins by chance? All right, so let's go back to here where the main melody starts again. And Susie, excellent. Very, very nice. Do I have my Susie collection's over there. I inherited a Susie collection, a Susie vinyl collection from a friend that passed on. So when I play Susie, I think of my friend. Okay. So we got some stuff to clean up here. Let's go. Let me just clean up this at the end here, because that was, I don't want to remember the messed up part. So that was here. Let's do... grab the string more there. Let's go back a little bit farther so I can work on that shift too. Let's do... That's getting better. There's some very suspicious intonation there. But we'll work on that. It's a lot easier to get weight transfer on those slower notes. Okay, that's better. That was the main. Oh, right. Did I do this? So the trouble here is that I have almost exactly the same notes and the same like part earlier in the piece, but earlier in the piece, there's an F or a C natural instead of a C sharp. So it's in the beginning, it's an extension, and then at the end, it's not an extension because it's a sharp. So that is causing my brain and my fingers some problems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the measure from the beginning right next to the measure from the end. And that's a little trick that my teacher suggests for exactly this scenario. Basically, you take the two parts that are similar but not quite the same and just put them right next to each other. So we'll do that. So we got... And then we've got, so that's the beginning part. That's right before we go into thumb position. And then down here, we've got... So we've got... What's up, DCS Deep? Welcome back. I hope your adventures out in the world were everything you hoped and dreamed they would be. DCS Deep was out doing some fun stuff last week, which is why we didn't see him. Not all thumbs, no. My poor cello teacher broke his thumb. He's a cyclist, and he broke his thumb. And he can still play, and he doesn't have like a splint or anything, so it must not be like it must be just like a hairline fracture or something. But I was working on this. He was playing. I felt kind of bad because he was doing a lot in thumb position on his broken thumb at my lesson. I was like, oh, maybe we should have worked on a different movement. All right. Let's see. So here, let me start. So this is the end part. I'm just going to start the main melody and see if I can get this right. Yep. Okay, so let's do the beginning part then. Okay. All right, so maybe that's fixed. So let's work on this thumb position part here. So I'm not, what I was working on at my lesson was I'm not getting my thumb up quickly enough, I'm like waiting until the last second to get my thumb up. And that is not ideal. That is not ideal. Because that puts you in a risky situation. Oh, and I forgot to do this. Oh wait, no, I did it right. What? I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay, whatever. The song list is correct. The song list is displaying the correct thing now. It was not displaying the correct thing before. But that's, that's how it goes. Okay, so we're doing here. This is getting, that was a little out of tune. This is getting, so I'm using the side of my thumb to push down the string. And that is a place where I previously did not have calluses on my fingers. I have been playing bowed and plucked string instruments since 1993? No, 1992. Oh, 1992. So the calluses on the tips of my fingers, I started on violin and guitar. So the tips of my fingers are pretty good with the calluses. Like, even if I don't play for a long time, the calluses, I think, are just permanent at this point. I am working on developing calluses on the side of my thumb, which is a whole thing. Even the cello calluses are a little bit different than guitar or violin calluses because, especially like my pinky and my first finger, because it's bigger. And your fingers are a little bit farther apart. And so I actually have calluses it's on the tip of my finger, but kind of on the side, kind of by the nail. It's a thing. And then on my pinky, I got more, the callus just got bigger because it's a little bit on the outside now, in addition to on the tip. So yeah, it's a thing. Anyway, we were going to do this. So anyway, that thumb position part, I'm practicing it a lot. So it hurts less now, basically. To make a long story short, it hurts less. There it is. Excuse me. Get a sip of water here. Did not hydrate very well today. Despite having run 5.5 miles earlier. It's a little chilly out. The temperature definitely dropped. It's definitely fall now, but it was beautiful out. So don't get me wrong, but it's definitely the temperature. The temperature and the weather is changing. Another thing, so I'm gonna keep going on this section, but another thing that I'm working on is making sure that I'm playing confidently, whether or not I hit the notes. I should be playing confidently, because if you're gonna miss a note, it's fine, whatever. You're gonna miss a note, but if you hit a note and you're not playing confidently, you're still gonna sound like crap. So at least play confidently. And that's hard, like, because when I'm playing a part that I am, I don't know, nervous about isn't really maybe the right word, but just when I'm playing a part that's harder and requires more concentration, I tend to tighten up and do this and bring my bow up. And I need to keep my bow, especially on this part. If you watch, if I play up here, if I play like, well, it's hard. If I play really close to the bridge, that note sounds really nice. And it sounds less nice as I move up because there's less of an the string up here. There's less curvature because I'm pressing the string down, right? So there's less distance, height difference between the string. So it's a whole thing. But yeah, so I need to make sure I play down closer to the bridge, but my body wants to do this, and that doesn't work. See, Donovan says, I had a grandfather who played guitar all his life. Those calluses were unreal. Yeah, he would trim them with a pocket knife. Oh my goodness. Electric guitar or classical guitar or like, acoustic? What kind of, what or like styles? Like, do you know what exactly he played? I am curious. I would like to know if you would like to share. But yeah, I don't ever like trim my calluses. Like, feet are a whole different thing. I'm not going to get into feet. Runners have calluses. I have heard runner feet called demon feet. So we're not going to go there. But like, yeah, I don't have calluses on my fingers that I would need to trim necessarily. But I mostly play electric guitar, which the strings are a little bit, they're a little bit lighter gauge, and a little bit softer on electric guitar than on acoustic guitar. I have an acoustic guitar sitting right there, but I haven't played it in a long time. He could play any guitar. From my understanding, he played like 50s rock. Oh, cool. Very cool. So probably a bigger bodied electric guitar, I would guess, from that era. Maybe not though. I mean, Stratocasters were a thing in the 50s as well. But like when I picture 50s rock, actually, I picture that scene, the scene from Back to the Future, with that beautiful big red. I don't know if it's a Gretsch. Or exactly what kind of guitar that is, but I can see it in my mind. I can see it. Daniel, hello. Bit of a subdued entrance today. Are you feeling okay? Everything going all right there, Daniel? But go follow Daniel because we're talking about guitar. Daniel's an amazing guitarist. Professional guitarist, and you talk about Flight of the Bumblebee. Daniel can play Flight of the Bumblebee very well and very fast. Very fast. We were talking about that earlier. Not specifically about you playing Flight of the Bumblebee, just we were talking about that piece. And then Donovan was just talking about Donovan's grandfather who played 50s rock. Was a Gibson ES 355 and Back to the Future. Okay, yeah. You see it? Oh yeah, I've got a Gibson SG back here. Different instrument, same maker. Or same brand anyway. Let's keep going on this. Let's go. Let me start by the shift. Oh, you're mobile, that's why. Tone is getting much better on that section. Let's do it again. about the intonation later. We'll worry about the tone right now. See, Daniel says, fun fact is that the Gibson 355 didn't come out until a few years after the movie takes place. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you know, you gotta fudge things sometimes for the movie magic. It's a beautiful instrument. What would you have had Marty play to be historically accurate to the time period of the movie? Now, and this goes out to anybody, not just Daniel, anybody that knows guitars from that era. He says, however, it's easily fixed. Clearly, Doc Brown had to fix the timeline, so he went and got one and then sent it up so Marty could get his parents back together. Oh, of course, of course, of course. Let's start at the beginning, I guess. I wouldn't have changed a thing. Marty inspired Chuck Berry. It's, you know, yeah, I was gonna go somewhere and I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. It says, yeah, it is not gonna go there. Let's just play this piece. Let's do it again. I want to try and work up the speed on this. Let's see what we're at. I got the metronome at 76. Let's work it up a little bit. Timing of that note so that there's a trill there, and I think I was doing it right when I was playing it without the metronome. Let's see, Daniel says, if you want to go somewhere, Gremlins and BTTF, Back to the Future, were shot at the same time on the same lot. Oh, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. That's cool. Here, let's do this. So that C should come out. Oh wait, G. It's a G. That G should come out on the beat. That's wrong. Nope. 1, 2, and. That's how I'm supposed to count that. 1, 2. Nope. 1, 2. 1, 2, and. That's not. This is not supposed to be on the beat. That's. So I think that means I'm spending too long on the trill. 1, 2. Maybe if I double time this. 76 times 2 is 130. No. 76 times 2. 12. 132? Yeah, that's right. Let's see if this makes it better or worse. What you do assuming spending too long on the trill counting the spots? Except now it's not obvious if I screw that up. Basically. Oh, it's 152? I'm going to go back to 76 because I think that was too many. That was too many clicks, because now it's really obvious when I screw this up, because I should be hitting that G on the beat, on the click. So if you're wondering what I'm looking at, because you have no idea what I'm looking at, so there is a, so this is in 2/4 time. It's an allegro piece, and so I'm still not up to tempo, but there's a quarter note tied to a 16th note, and that is the trill, and then there are 3 16th notes to end the measure. So that's what's going on here, and it's like not that complicated. It's just complicated for me right now. That's what's going on. Let's see. Going back to the Future and Gremlins, Daniel says Doc Brown tested the time machine lots of times, right? Because on his first trip back, he accidentally created gremlins. Oh, well, there you go. The bank that Billy walks into in Gremlins is a boarded up diner from Back to the Future. Oh, interesting. In the movie theater, the Gremlins party is the one Marty goes back to the future in front of. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. It's interesting when you recognize places, like whether they're like sets or whether they're like actual physical places. Like here, let me turn this off for a second. Let's pause this. I was watching The Hunger Games. I'm not a movie person, but I have seen Back to the Future and I have seen Gremlins, but also I watched The Hunger Games. I read the books first and then I watched the movies. And I was like, I was watching like the second one, I think it was, pretty late at night, and I'm like in bed, and all of a sudden I like jump up and I'm like, oh, it's the Marriott from Dragon Con, it's the Marriott Marquis. Because like if you, this isn't a spoiler, but they go to a training center, and the Atlanta Marriott Marquis is architecturally very distinct. And so you're inside, and there's a big atrium, and it's like 37 or 47 floors. I think it's 47 floors. And it's in like kind of a teardrop shape up to the top. And it gets narrower as you go up. And the inside looks like you're inside this, like a brass skeleton of like some kind of human or animal. It's really interesting architecture. But anyway, that was where they filmed the training center scenes from the Hunger Games movies, I think the second and third movie. And then and you see them like going up in a glass elevator. That's one of the elevators. What my friends and I do at Dragon Con, we didn't do it this year. I haven't done it since the before times, but we would go up. So it's 47 floors or whatever, and then there's glass elevators in the hotel, and we call it going up the Wonkavator. So like late at night when the elevators are not busy, we will go all the way up to the top in the glass elevator and hang out up top for a little bit, and then come back down. And that's how we end our night sometimes. Also used for the Loki series. And DCS Deep has been there. He for sure knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, so one year, one of my friends, so we go up and we're like hanging out up on the balcony, and and then we're like we're kind of like ready to start thinking about going back down the elevator because we're all Midwesterners. So it takes a little bit for us to get going. And one of my friends is like, "Hey guys, I'm going to take the stairs. I'll see you downstairs." So we're like, "Okay, fine." Like, so he goes down the stairs, and we kind of take our time wrapping up and go down the elevator. And then as we literally step off the elevator into the second floor or the first floor, whatever floor it was that we were on, he comes busting out of the doors, like the stairwell. Literally, like he couldn't have timed it better if he'd tried. He comes busting out, and he's like all dizzy because he was going down the stairs. Like, I don't know if you've ever run down a staircase, like a lot of stairs, but you can get pretty dizzy. So he's sweating, he's out of breath, he's huffing and puffing, and he's dizzy. So he's kind of staggering. He's like, "Oh, hey guys." And we all just were dying laughing. Just dying. That's one of my favorite DragonCon memories, actually. Let's see. So Daniel's dropping some more movie facts for us. Says, I found a song called Too Many Notes. Too many notes. It was WB most used filming lots, but now it's used as a tour for fans. Too many people know the building, so it can no longer be filmed. I wish I could have seen Gotham City that they built for the first two Batman movies, for the Tim Burton ones. I liked the Tim Burton Batmans. I haven't seen too many of the later ones, but I have the first Tim Burton Batman movie on VHS tape still. And then Daniel says, I found out in the original Conan movie, they built the giant temple at the end of the movie, and they just left it there. Someone bought the land 20 years later and thought they'd discovered some massive archaeological find. So DCS Deep, it was just like the boring, they weren't fancy spiral stairs. He went down, my friend went down just like the boring square stairwell from the top, from the 47th floor. He got his workout in that day. Anyway, okay, let's get back to work here. Let's get back to work on this rhythm. Almost. That was almost. So I was too short. I was a little bit early before. I was a little late this time. So let's see if we can get in the middle. Get it in the middle. I don't know. I don't know how to do that. Let's just do it faster. Maybe that'll fix it. Let's try it at 80. not going to worry about that timing so much. I'm just going to worry. I'm just using the metronome to pace myself. I'll try and get the right rhythm at some point. I want to work on this little thumb position section here. Was that right? Maybe that was right. That was closer to right. Let's go a little bit faster. I should probably just not play that part. I should probably, well, I'll just work on this part. Let's try 88. 88 miles per hour. Ah. Did I think I got it. Let's do it again. I don't know that I want to go any faster than that. Let's go back. Let's take it down to 86. What's up, Alpha? Forgot to brag, I beat Cathadoria in Carrie Ann's trivia. Oh, well, congratulations. Congratulations. All right, let's just do the whole, let's see if we can just do the whole thing at 86, and then we'll move on to a different movement. Actually, here. I'm going to turn that off now that I've got the tempo so we can just hear the nice music. almost had it. Cathedora says, "Oh, hey, Alpha, congrats. There were several questions I had no idea about." What were some of the stumper questions? Okay, so all right, whatever. I'm just going to start at the beginning again, and then I'm just going to play it through. Even if I screw up, I'm just going to keep going. Well, I'm a second time through, but we'll start at the top. That is right. Second guessing myself. So let's work on that transition there a little bit. Not too bad. At 86, not too bad. I will take it. I will take it. Let's see, Cathedora says it was for Carrie Ann's streamiversary, questions about her music streams and stuff. Ah, cool. Which, how many years has she been streaming? Because I want to say it's got to be at least 4. I feel like it's been quite a while. She rated here once, and I was very surprised. Very surprised, because she brought in like a bazillion people. This is very nice. Let's see. All right. Let's go back to the first movement. 4 years. Okay, cool. Back to the first movement. Did we have that one? Yeah, and then we're going to do this while we're here. I could type. I don't know, like, I feel like somehow I got myself like really far away from the computer keyboard. Like I don't think I used to be this far away from the keyboard, but whatever. Whatever, it's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna spend I think just like 5 minutes on the Adagio. What we're gonna do here. Because I have a choice between I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 10. So we'll do 5. So what I want to work on this one, that one's getting pretty good, but let's work on the beginning, because this part is hard. I cheated when I played it through. So here, so right where my 4th finger is on the A string, I shift up to that same spot on the D string. So no shift there. And then I shift down a half step for that G, and then I shift up a half step. This is another spot where I just have to play confidently and hope I hit the notes, because it's going to sound like, because even if I hit the notes and I'm not playing confidently, it's going to sound like crap, even though I hit the notes. So I might as well go for it. So let's do the whole first phrase there. Yeah, that's coming along pretty well. Let's do it again. So on that phrase, let's do this. Let's work on bowing. So it goes, I'm just going to do open strings to work on how the bow should be nice and fluid. And I need to play a little bit louder on the D string than on the A string. So let's do it with the notes. So the notes on the D string are on the beat, and also the A string is just sounds louder to us. It's got more zing to it than the D string does. The D string just because it's thinner, I think, than the D string. So so that's what I'm trying to do there. So I'm trying to balance out the sound between the two strings, basically. And then also, like, you know, you want to have, oftentimes, especially in classical music, you want to feel the beat. Let's go from the beginning. So let's do this part now. I got to make sure I'm getting high enough on that A. Let's do that phrase again. So what I'm working on is I want the 2 eighth notes to sound like you're ending a sentence. I also want that. I want that to be smooth. That's called a replacement finger, where I start here, and then I'm shifting to right next to where my finger just was. My other finger just was. So let's do the whole first half. Yeah, there's some, I feel like there's some good phrasing going on there. All right, so one last thing I want to work on here is just sometimes I forget to drop the volume the second time we play the da 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 da. So let's do that part. Okay, so let's just do a little bit less of that. See here. Okay, that's enough of that one. That one, I'm pretty happy with that. It's still like, it's still coming along, but I assume this is probably what I'll be playing at my next recital. That's kind of how things how things are going. I think that's probably what I'm gonna play. Cause I don't have enough time. I would have like 2 months to get a new piece ready, and that's just not going to happen. That is not enough time. Okay. Let's do the Allegro. Let's just crank it up a couple of clicks. So I was practicing it at 138. Let's play it at 140. Why not? Oh. I suppose it helps to be able to see the second page of music. On that little part I biffed on real quick here. Let's do wrong clef. We're in tenor clef. Let's do that again. Let's do from here. Let's do it again. Once more. That was a good run. That was a good run. Let's turn this off. Let's do it again. Okay, that one is mostly fine. There's probably more I can do with phrasing and such. But I think let's just move on to the Largo. I really like the Largo. Even though it's only 3 lines, it's super short. I like it. And this one, what I'm really working on the Largo is phrasing. Phrasing. Making nice musical sentences, basically. And then I think will probably end once I'm done with the Largo. We'll go find somebody to raid. I think we're gonna do that. Ah, what's up, Ratataz? Everybody go follow Ratataz. Ratataz plays the flute and is learning violin and does like self-care, like relaxation and stretching and all kinds of great stuff. It's a nice place to hang out. Hope you're having a nice weekend, Ratataz. DCS Deep says, what's Fraser doing in Largo? Phrases, not Dr. Fraser Crane, if that's who you're referring to. Okay, so let's talk about phrasing since I stopped because I was unhappy with the. So this part here, where is a good place to jump in? So I feel like this note, that D, should be the end. That's new. That's the new phrase. That's the new sentence. And then when we get here, so if we start at the next big phrase. There we go. So, I'm not entirely sure how that should be phrased, but that's what I'm working with right there, is like where this, it's a dotted eighth note, and I think I need to not play it the whole written duration. And I think that's the beginning of the next phrase, and we just jump right in. There's only 2 dynamic markings, so this piece is only 20 measures long, 3 lines. There's only 2 dynamic markings. There is a piano at the beginning, and there's a mezzo forte at this part. And then the rest of it is just, you got to figure it out. Got to figure it out yourself. So let's do, it's so short. Let's just start from the beginning, and I'll work on, so that first big phrase ends at the beginning of the second line in measure 6. So that's the whole piece. And it's supposed to really, it's basically connects with the next movement. So the next movement starts. Right? So let's do the last line so you can kind of hear how it should sound. So that's how that should go. But I need to make a copy, a photocopy, a Xerox, if you will, of that last page, so I can just have all 3 pages sitting open on my music stand. Because I don't like. I'm never gonna get the page. It's a bad spot for a page turn if you're trying to make that transition really, really quick. So yeah. Anyway, let's just keep working on the phrasing. And I feel like I have to do the whole thing to work on this, which is weird. Like, I should be able to do these in smaller pieces, but I feel like I need the continuity. There's a shift there, but I'm not looking at the music, so all right. Okay, one more time through, and then I think I'm gonna call it. This has been a good practice. I feel like things are getting better. That's what's going on there. That's the same string. Cathedora says sounded really good. Thank you. We're working on it. That's how it goes. Yeah, all right. I think we're going to call it there. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Cathedora, thank you very much for modding. I appreciate you. And if you're not following Cathedora, you should do that. Cathedora has been streaming a lot of Minecraft lately. And, what else have you been streaming? But it's always a nice time. And I like to pop in. I like to pop in when I can. But it's a nice, cozy place to hang out, and you should hang out. And we should find somebody to raid and follow Raditaz, follow Daniel. Who else do we have in the house that I know that streams? I have a thing in the middle of my screen blocking my view. Oh, Jove streams once in a while, usually on other people's channels. Yeah, I think that's all I know. That's all I know of that's here right now, and I can't see the user list because this is. Oh wait, I know how to do that. Usually I use mod view, and I've been using like for everything, and I've been using the dashboard. Well, whatever. Actually, I don't know where that is. I don't know where that is here. There you are. There you are. Yeah, I think that's everybody that made themselves known. Lurkers, I appreciate you. Thank you. Not gonna out you. All right, let's go see who we're gonna raid. Who are we gonna raid? Let's see. All right, let's see who's on.